What is up, everyone? It is Luke Maguire here. Let me know if you can hear and see me okay in the questions. I just pulled this really random cat meme up because our special guest today here, we were having some little issues, and I thought, you know what better to do than find a bit of a funny cat meme to put up on the screen while we are sorting those. And then I found this creepy looking cat. But in saying that, we've got everything sorted, everything is good to go today. Now, first of all, before I get started about talking about today's webinar, first thing I want to let you guys know, my webcam isn't going on yet because I have the worst bed hair you have ever seen in the world. Secondly, a huge apology for last week, the day before, basically we had to reschedule the webinar for this week. But we've got it all done. We have it all happening here today. I'm really, really excited for today's webinar, because we've got a very special guest here who I consider, as you've seen over and over in my emails, probably the #1 Facebook marketer that I personally know. And you guys are going to learn a lot about Facebook marketing on today's webinar. He also has the only endorsed Shopify course in the world. And it's going to be a great follow-on from our webinar 2 weeks ago, the Basic Facebook Ads 101. Now, this guy also is brothers of someone that you guys have seen before, Anthony Morrison, who's been on many webinars earlier in the year. This is his younger brother, Adrian, who is just absolutely killing it in complete other fields than Anthony. There's zero crossover here. Their businesses have basically, they've both just been able to find areas in the online marketing space that are completely separate, but then absolutely destroy and leverage them, and getting products and services in front of people that really need and want those products and services. And I think a big thing that Adrian is amazing at is actually converting. There's a lot of people out there that go out and talk about how to do Facebook ads like this and how to do that, but you see no proof of their actual conversions. Adrian is one of those people that won't only teach you how to get conversions, he'll show you him doing it themselves every single day. So for you guys here, is that important for you guys? Because for me, that's one of the biggest things I look for in people. Put #1 in the box if that's important, that not only a coach or someone that you're learning from can teach you the actual knowledge, but actually show you them implementing it and doing it themselves. And that's why I bring in people that actually have the result-based proof, not only for them, but for their students as well. Because again, it's all well and good, all these gurus doing crazy things for themselves, but if they can't teach people that and have students that have those insane success stories, then, you know, well, in my head, I think, well, what's the point of even learning from them if they can't teach people it in a way that actually converts into their mind into actual sales in their bank account in real life. So in saying that, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Adrian now. I'm going to make him presenter. Just give me 1 second, guys, and he'll be here. 1 second, make presenter. And everyone give a big hello in the comments to Adrian. Say, hello, Adrian, whatever you want to say, nice message, joke, anything you know about him. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Adrian. So let's make him really happy and welcome here today, because I'm really excited for today's webinar. Handing it over to you, Adrian. There he is. Look at that. Look at that smile. He's just so happy. We have some cash prizes giving away today as well that I'm giving away. So remember, take a good look at Adrian, because I'm going to ask you later, who do you think he looks like in terms of celebrities? And the best answer is going to win that as well. So, Adrian, it's all over to you now, and let's get started with today.
Thank you, Luke, for having me on. I know that you've had my brother on quite a few times, so I always hear that y'all have a lot of great fun on your webinars, and I'm looking forward to having a fun webinar with you as well. Yeah, it's Anthony and you. Like, I feel left out because I see the replays. I always watch your webinars because you always have such great information in them. And I see the replays, and I'm like, man, you know, why haven't I been on Luke's webinar yet? Like, what's the deal? Why hasn't he invited me on? He likes my brother better than me, I guess.
There's no favoring over here. Don't you worry about that. That's why you're on today. You're on next week. That's what I wanted to mention as well. Adrian's coming back next week as well, so everyone here today, make sure you're here for part 2 next week as well. And you never know, there might be part 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on what you want to do, my friends. So you'll see here, no favoring here.
I know, I'm picking with you. So thanks so much for having me on, and I'm excited to just provide value for you all. Something I always do for my students is I like to serve. You know, I like to serve. I like to provide value for everybody. I know that there's you know, some people that are in different financial situations than others. Some can afford expert advanced training. Some are on their very last dime. And I like to do trainings where there's options for everybody. So like Luke said, there's nothing for sale today or anything like that. I'm invited on to just show you what I'm doing in my business. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are teaching Shopify and drop shipping and e-commerce and all that stuff right now. How many of you in here have seen just like boatloads of people, their Shopify ads, their PDFs with the top 20 Shopify niches or whatever it is? Just, you know, I see a bunch of junk. What I also see is very few people teaching this stuff that actually do what they teach. You know, one of the things I love about Luke is when he's teaching something, it's something that he actually does or developed or something that he's used to catapult himself to success. And if not, then he brings somebody on a webinar that does do what he wants you to learn. I do the same thing with my audience. I bring people on for my audience that teach them things that I don't know anything about, that I want to learn. So there's very few people in the industry, I believe, with that type of integrity. So I'm so glad that Luke is one of those guys that has that integrity, and I believe that I'm the same way as well. What you're looking at now is a screenshot, speaking of practicing what you teach, a screenshot of 2 of my Shopify stores. And I have some case studies on these and all that. There's a reason that one of them only did $500,000 and the other one did over $5 million so far. This is actually a screenshot from like a month ago. So it's we've done a bit more since then. But can everybody see this? Can everybody see the $5.6 million? Just go ahead and say yes. Okay, this isn't to impress you. Right? This is not it to impress you. Anybody that knows anything about me knows that I've made a lot of money in e-commerce. I like to show you this before I teach because I want you to see that what I'm teaching is relevant. It's something I'm doing right now. I didn't just make $10,000 off one lucky ad and then take a bunch of screenshots and then go broke 3 weeks later because the strategy quit working. And that's something that I think discombobulates the industry. I think that there's a lot of people that get lucky really fast. They take some screenshots and then all of a sudden they're a guru. But their businesses don't really make long-term money. And if you're going to learn how to do something the right way, you need to learn from somebody who practices what they teach and somebody that's doing it right now, like literally in the trenches, and that has a stable, long-term, and consistent business model. So what I want to do today is I want to walk you through some of the things that I'm doing in my business. I want to talk about where e-commerce is headed, what's the best strategy for you to get started with drop shipping and e-commerce and AliExpress and print on demand, and I'm going to show you how I got to $5.6 million in a little bit over a year and a half or so, and have consistent profits that come in and consistent revenue that comes in every single day. So that being said, I also want to talk a little bit about what I've been doing recently. So very recently, I was invited up to Shopify HQ. This is a picture of me up at Shopify's headquarters. They invited me up here. They've been trying to invite me up here for a good year, probably, and I just didn't want to go up there because it's freezing cold. They're in Ottawa, Canada. They invited me to their headquarters. I met with their COO and had a great meeting with him. They also invited me to speak at a private mastermind with about 20 of the top Shopify guys in the space. So I was there, Chris Record, Ezra Firestone, and some other guys. You can see their names on the little cards right there. And we all kind of shared what we're doing in our business. And it was a really, really great experience. As a matter of fact, here is a picture of me with the small group of people that Shopify invited up to New York to do this mastermind, kind of talking about what I do in my business. And I thought that it was very, very interesting that these things go on. I didn't know Shopify did this, but they reached out to me and they said, yo, we want you here. We want you to talk to our partners. So there I am. And all of this success has catapulted me to even more success. I just recently filmed a television show with Bob Proctor. So that's us. We look very happy. It's been a long day of filming right there. but I've authored some books, and Bob is hosting our show for books. So done a lot of things here, and it's led to, you know, massive amounts of success. Our biggest day was in 2016, November 25th. It was holiday season. We did about $44,000 in revenue. So this is just some getting to know me type stuff right here. And then we'll dive into what I like to call meat and potatoes training, okay? So I'm going to walk you through some of the things I don't think anybody else really talks about. A lot of people tend to overcomplicate everything when it comes to doing video ads, when it comes to doing Facebook advertising in general. They look at it like it's this big puzzle and all that stuff, and it's really not. I mean, getting viral ads is, you know, quite simple. I mean, if you look at some of the ads that I run right here, you'll see that we get millions and millions and millions of views. We use video ads a lot. We use page post ads a lot. We get tens of thousands of shares and comments, and it's absolutely mind-boggling the results that we're getting with the strategies that we're going to be talking about this week. And if Luke has me come on, maybe we'll talk about them next week as well. So how many of you in here are excited to learn how I'm getting these results with literally a step-by-step guide to getting started? I'm not going to go through the top 20 niches on Shopify and all the BS that's out there. I just want to show you some straight-up raw hardcore training that's going to guide you to getting started, show you what you've been doing wrong, how you can fix it, and how you can start doing it right. Just go ahead in the chat box and say, let's go. All right, the more you talk in the chat box, the more excited I become about teaching you. And the more excited I get, well, the more little golden nuggets I drop. I tend to do it that way, okay? So first off, let's start out with my beloved whiteboard, okay? Now, I'm on this crazy, like absolutely nutso computer screen. I'm on a 38-inch ultra-wide computer screen. I'm out here at my my condo in Florida. So if I look over here to the right, there's I'm literally, actually, you know what, I think I could probably show you. You could probably see, I can see the water over there. Yep, there's the beach right there. You can probably see some of my puppy's toys and stuff. So this is my second home, and I come out here and I work a lot, and my main office isn't here. So let me see if I can now get this to focus again. But it's not bad working at the beach like that. Let me get my camera back in focus. And what we're going to do is we're going to write down a couple of things that I think everybody needs to know about starting an e-commerce business, not as something that's going to make you a couple of bucks today and be gone tomorrow, but something that can thrive long term, okay? So let's get started, okay? First, I want to start out by showing you a couple of things. We're going to have two sides to this. We're going to have my students, all right? And then over here, we're going to have most people. Okay? So we're just going to draw a little line here. And I want to go over the differences between what my students are doing, what I'm doing, and what most other people are doing, okay? So to get started here, my students, actually, you know, well, let's start out with most people. Most people start out with e-commerce trying to sell retail items. All right, so most people try to sell retail items. All right, this could be t-shirts, coffee mugs, whatever it may be. A lot of people also go in and they have stock, they have warehouses. So they try to go to Alibaba, all right? So they're going to Alibaba. It's a little bit different than AliExpress. It's where you buy in bulk and you have all sorts, you get, things are a little bit less money. They'll still do drop shipping, but you're having to stock stuff, actually. So in other words, they are stocking inventory. All right, they're stocking inventory. And another thing that most people are doing is they're building niche stores. All right, now what do I mean by niche stores? Most people, and this goes back to the screenshot that I started this out with. There's a reason that that's there. Most people try to sell retail items. They go to the wrong place to get the items. They have a bunch of inventory that they stock in their warehouse or garage or wherever it may be, and they build niche-related stores. Now, a niche-related store could be something like a military store. It could be a cat store. It could be a I don't know. It could be a let's just say it could be a dog store. Another thing it could be, I've seen a lot of people doing lately, is it could just be simply a gadget store. All right, just something that sells little gadgets and everything. These are more like niche-related stores, and most people that do this, they are failing by doing this. Okay, this is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, is starting a niche store. All right, that's why I want to say most people are doing that. That is why most people are failing. That is why most people make a bunch of money and then 3 weeks later they're back to being broke. All right, so retail items, Alibaba, stocking inventory, they have niche stores. All right, most people, let's keep going. All right, most people try to do, oh, I misspelled ninja. Never said I was good at spelling. Most people try to do ninja targeting. All right, that's not necessary. A lot of people get on Facebook and they try to do these ninja targeting techniques that you don't need, and it's pointless. I mean, literally, you do not have to have any ninja targeting techniques to make money with Facebook. But right now, Facebook is easier than ever. And then another thing that most people try to do is they try to market what they like. All right, most people are trying to market the products that they like, that they think are cool, that they think are awesome, yada yada yada. Now I just want to get a couple of answers from you guys and gals. How many of you in here are doing this stuff right here? You're trying to sell retail items, you have inventory, you have a niche store, a coffee store, a cat store, a camping store, a fitness store. It is related to one single niche. You're trying these crazy ninja targeting techniques, right? You have these products, but you're only marketing the stuff that you think is cool, that you are interested in, right? How many of you in here are doing that right now and you're not seeing success? All right, so I see a lot of you in here saying, me, that's me. Yes, absolutely. I'm in one single niche, 100%. Yeah, okay, so this is what most people are doing, and this is why most people fail. Let's go over to what I'm doing and what my students do, okay? So we are selling free plus shipping products. Now, I know that that's been around for a while, so it's nothing new. But I'm going to show you a specific strategy that I'm using with free plus shipping that not many people talk about, okay? We're going to AliExpress to get our items. So AliExpress is the best place to get started. We have no inventory. Okay, so we have no inventory. Y'all have heard about that before. We're using what we call flex stores. Okay, so I kind of brought that term to the industry a couple of years ago when I released Ecom Success Academy, and all my students went in there. And a flexible store allows me to market all of this stuff right here, all right, in one single place. Now, if we jump back over to that screenshot that I showed you earlier, the real reason I had this up is on the left-hand side is a flexible store. On the right-hand side is a niche store. I started both, right? I wanted to know what's the best way to get started. And it's something that's very important that I want to talk to you about here live on this webinar, okay? Notice that the flex store always is making money. I mean, it's always making around at least $5,000 a day. Okay, some days are bigger than others. And overall, we've done over $5 million in sales. Now, if you look over here to the right side, you look right here to the niche store. It sold military tactical gear. All right, I boxed myself into this tactical niche right here. And I spiked up, and I got to about $11,000 a day or so. But watch it crash and burn. And it's because I've learned something very, very important about the market. There is a sizzle and a fizzle. And when you box yourself into a specific niche, You cut yourself off from potential profits. You cut yourself off from building a real brand. You cut yourself off from being able to sell your business in the future, because nobody's going to buy a business that goes like this right here, right? People like to see steady income with some spikes, but then back down to steady income. Does everybody understand what I'm saying here? Just say yes in the chat box. All right. Okay, so everybody understands what I'm saying. You're building a bigger brand. You have the flexibility to move with the market. You're building a consistent stream of income, and you know, you're setting yourself up to crush it over the course of the future. Now, coming back over here, we're going to talk about a couple of other things. Something else I do is called zero targeting. Okay, so we're going to talk about not putting any keywords, no demographics, none of that stuff in your ads. We're not going to fool with any of that. And we're also going to talk about how other people's passion equals my profit. Okay? We're going to talk about how other people's passions equal my profit. I sell cat socks sometimes. I mean, I've sold a lot of cat socks, actually. I'm not a cat person. I love animals, but I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person. I got 2 Pomeranians, and I love dogs, okay? But I sell cat socks, and it's because people buy them. See, my goal is to earn money. It's not to be marketing what it is that I like and what it is that I think is cool. My goal is to come in here and make money. How many of you in here are here to make money and not market what you think is a cool idea? Just type in money signs in the chat box if that's your goal, right? I mean, once you have money, you can go do the stuff that you're excited with or your passions or whatever later. But first things first, you need to focus on what do the people want, and then you just simply need to give it to them. That is the key, all right? So we're talking about no inventory. We're talking about flexible stores. We're talking about zero targeting. Literally, I don't put any keywords, none, zilch. I target everybody in the world, and Facebook finds the buyers for me, and they send them to my store, and I make boatloads of sales. And this is like one of those things that people can't, you know, it just blows their minds. Like, they can't comprehend that that's true or that that works, but then they follow my strategy, and they start earning money without ever having to do ninja targeting strategies and all that BS. And, well, you know, the rest is history. Now, there's a problem, especially in the industry, with the way that most people do it. So coming back over here with these niche stores, all right, and this ninja targeting stuff, right, we have a serious issue. Okay, let's come down here. Let's talk a little bit about what this big problem is with people that are running niche-related stores around a single product. How many of you in here have seen the fidget spinners, the big fidget spinner craze, where you get this little thing and you just spin it, and you just watch it spin. It just sits there, and that's all it does. And it's so viral, it's everywhere. Y'all have seen that, yes? You've seen it everywhere. It is a massive trend. All right, well, there's 2 different types of marketing. That is called niche and trend marketing. All right, so niche, trend marketing, okay? Now, let's just say that you have a Shopify sales graph here, okay? So let's just draw a quick little Shopify store sales graph. And this is going to be your money from, let's just say, $10K, $10,000, and this is going to be at $0, okay? And this is going to be January, and this is going to be December, okay? So January to December, this is a niche marketing trend store, okay? This is what most people are doing. They see a hot niche, or they see a hot trend, and they build a whole entire store around it. It could be a hoverboard, it could be a boosted board, it could be a fidget spinner or a fidget cube or whatever the next viral thing is, okay? And what happens is with our sales, and the Shopify sales graph now is purple, so I'm going to try to stay within their colors. You have like this like, you're making a little bit of money, and then what's going to happen is when you hit the trend, it's going to spike, all right? and it's going to spike a little bit, and then it goes kind of like this. And now you're back at 0. Now, it might not happen like that over the course of a year. It might happen much faster. If you go back to my niche graph, look at this. You see that same chart right there where it spiked and then it just died, where now it barely makes anything. That niche store is still up and running, but it doesn't really produce any revenue. That's what happens when you have a niche store. So you build, like literally you waste time. When you build a niche store, you waste time, you make a little bit of money, and you are basically broke at the end of the day because you didn't make enough money to become wealthy. I'm going to point something out on my chart here. Okay, so this right here, this little area right here, okay, this is called the sizzle. Okay, and this right here is called the fizzle. Okay? The sizzle happens, all right, the sizzle happens whenever something is really hot. And then when something phases out, nobody wants it anymore, you have the fizzle. Now, you've got this store, right? You've got this product or whatever that you're putting all of your attention on, and it made you some money. You know, maybe you made like 30 grand, 40 grand, whatever. All right, that's not, it's not enough money to become a wealthy long-term e-commerce marketer, all right? That's some good money, but it's not, you're not building a brand. That's always going to happen, and that's what most marketers fall into. They fall into the sizzle, but they don't think about the fizzle. I want everybody to write down in the chat box right now, I want you to type in fizzle. All right, type in fizzle, because the fizzle is what you need to fear. Fear the fizzle. When things start to fizzle is when you go back to being broke. You know, I don't want to wake up every day and worry, oh my gosh, when I check my stats, am I going to make money? Am I going to, is today the day that it's all going to crash and burn? No, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to wake up every day and I want to say, oh yeah, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon now. Sometimes I sleep in. I've probably already made about 6 grand today. Go check my stats. Boom. I'm right at, maybe I'm at $5,500. I can predict how much money I'm going to make every day because it's the same every day unless I'm scaling my business higher, right? But these guys and these gals that are doing the niche marketing, right? This is what most people are teaching. This is what most gurus are doing right here. They teach you how to make a quick buck, all right? So let's write that down. This is what I call a quick dollar. All right, this does not make you rich. What it does is it gives you some extra spending money. But at the end of the day, how many of you, if you ever wanted to sell your Shopify store, how many of you would come in here and you would buy the store from me? If I was selling you this store that was making $10,000 a day, but is steadily month after month crashed and burned all the way down to like 0, how many of you would want to buy that store from me? Just say yes or no if you would want to buy that store from me. All right, no way you would want to buy that store because you could see the money's already made. It's crashed and burned, right? So what you've done is you've wasted time. You could have been building a big brand. You could have been building a big business. And see, this is what I teach my students how to do. I teach my students how to come down over here with these flexible stores. So let's draw another little graph over here from my flex stores. All right, so here's our flex store section. And we're going to call this a flex/evergreen store. All right? And we're going to draw our same graph again, our same Shopify graph. Okay, so let's do that. Just going to do this. Oh, I don't like that line. Let's keep it straight. All right, so we're going to draw this graph. Here we are. Boom. All right, let's come in here. Let's put $10,000. Let's put $0, and then let's put our January to December, okay? So this is what a flexible evergreen store looks like, one that's more valuable, one that makes more money over time. All right, so what's going to happen with this store is you're going to start out, you may have a spike, you may have a spike, may have a spike, All right, you see what's happening here? All right, it's staying pretty consistent. You can see that on average here, this store is earning, right? It's earning about $5,000 a day on average. That's what this store is earning. Then we have these little spikes because our traffic may be good, right? We're making a little bit more money during the holidays or a special scenario, a special event. But really what happens is you have this line down the center. It's about right here, right? And this is what's called an evergreen money. All right, no matter what, my store is usually making about $5,000 a day, okay? Even on a bad day, we'll make like 5 G's, okay? So all of this other stuff, all of this other hype, that's great and everything, and it's great money, but at the end of the day, this isn't happening over here, where I make a bunch of money very quickly, and then it crashes and burns. So what I teach my students how to do is have a flexible, evergreen store, and I teach them how to scale it, but never wake up and worry about how much money you're making. Always, the only thing you should have to worry about when you wake up is, did your scaling strategy work, and are you going to make more today than you made yesterday? How many of you would rather worry about, are you making more today than yesterday versus worrying about today did your store crash and burn, right? Okay, so I see a lot of you in here agreeing with me. You don't lose your sizzle. Somebody, who is that? Robert said you don't lose your sizzle, and that's absolutely right, because the products that I teach my students to market, the way that I teach them how to market works. You know, we have our Facebook intelligence. So we also leverage Facebook intelligence with our ads. All right, and with our Facebook intelligence, we're hitting such a big audience because we have that zero targeting going on, where we're hitting millions and millions of customers. Our ads never fizzle. All right, so if you come back over here to my screenshot, you'll see that same scenario here, where we're really averaging more around like $10,000 a day. And, you know, we have some small dips, but on average, you'll see that line at about $9,000 a day is steady where it's usually at. And then we have these big dips. The difference between these stores is the difference between you having to go back to your regular job or not, or you being able to quit your job and feel secure that if you quit your job, you're going to have money coming in to support yourself and support your family in the future, right? There is no ifs, ands, or buts. When you see the trend, when you see the strategy, when you see that it's working every day, you have the comfortability, and you can take a calculated risk, and you can go at this full time. But when you see this happen right here, you're like, crap, I better not quit my job, because this doesn't look like a secure, stable way to produce. All right, is everybody still with me? I just want to see yeses in the screen, okay? This is, once again, what I teach my students how to do, is be consistent and profitable. I had a student just last week launch a product. Some of you are asking, how quickly can you scale? I had a student just last week launch a product and use the strategies that I teach. It went so viral that they sold, I think it was 9,000 products in a single day. They actually freaked out because they didn't even know if it was real or not. Turns out it was quite real. They did about $100,000 in a day. I have students that are making $1 million a month in sales. Various six-figure students, various five-figure students. All of them start, you know, at step one, and then they ascend upwards, right? To sum up, a lot of them make more money than I do, right? I mean, our biggest month is $600,000 and something. You know, we on average do $200,000, $300,000 a month. All right, and I focus about, I don't know, 30% of my time on my e-commerce store, right? I've had students now that are surpassing me because they go all in. They put 100% of their time in their e-com store. They don't have to get on webinars like me and train people and do real estate and all this other stuff. And they're smart. They get the roadmap and they maximize it. They take it to the max. So a lot of you in here right now that are at zero, you may very well, at the end of all of this, a couple of months down the road, be destroying me and some of the other guys in terms of revenue. Now, is that okay? Is that a good thing? Yes or no? Just say, heck yeah, if that's a good thing, right? It's amazing when you have students that go to make more money than you're making. that is nuts. Because then I message them, I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, I just did what you said, but I found a good product, a good evergreen product. Now, talking about this, here's one of the strategies that a lot of people aren't really using that I want to introduce you to today, okay? So let's talk about starting your business, okay? The foundation is very important. The foundation of your business is very, 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 very important. So I call this your Shopify store foundation steps, okay? So your foundation steps for your Shopify store. Step number 1. All right, for this step right here, you want to build a flex, all right? You can call it generic, you can call it evergreen store, where you can literally sell grandma stuff, baby stuff, dog stuff, tactical stuff, whatever it may be, okay? Step number 2 is you, and I teach this in more detail in my own trainings, but I'm just trying to give you as much as I can from my brain in the time period that we have here. You want to create what's called niche fan pages, all right? Niche-related fan pages. Wait a second. I told you you need a generic brand, like Gear Grabber is my brand. I told you you did not need to have a niche-related store. So why am I telling you to come on here and build niche fan pages? Well, let me show you real quick, okay? Here's how it works. Here's your Shopify store. Okay? Now, your Shopify store is a Flex Shopify store. It sells everything, grandma stuff, cat stuff, tactical stuff, jewelry, whatever it may be. Now, this store, though, is going to be linked to multiple fan pages. So you might come over here and you might have a grandparent fan page. All right, you might have a cat fan page. You might have a tactical page. All right, you might have a random, let's just say you have a viral gadget page. All right, maybe you have a women's fashion fan page. All right, it doesn't matter what it is. All of these pages lead to your Shopify store. So really what you're doing is you're building yourself multiple streams of income. Always where you can have whatever's marketing, whatever you're marketing right now, it's in the sizzle moment, right? You're not in the fizzle moment. You don't get stuck and you don't crash and burn. You always have the sizzle because listen, right now, grandparent stuff may be sizzling. This may be sizzling. Maybe this right here is in the fizzle period. Okay? Maybe the gadgets right now are in the fizzle period. And then the women's fashion stuff is sizzling, right? So you've still got, if you're marketing multiple niches, you got all these fan pages that go to one store, you're always making money, right? Even if you're having a bad day in some of the different areas. Just type in I understand if you're with me right now. Just say I understand if you're with me. Because see, this is how you build a long-term business model, all right? I'm not going to teach you how to make a bunch of quick money so you can just have a little bit of extra cash underneath your mattress for a rainy day. I'm trying to show you how to become wealthy, right? I'm trying to show you how you can set this up to where you can retire, where you can have a full-time e-commerce business and literally generate millions and millions and millions of dollars without having to freak out every day when you wake up. This is kind of like that foundation of starting out. Now, coming back over here, so that's step 2. Okay, now step number 3. So step number 3 is you need to find a passion product. So a passion product, something that other people are passionate about. Now, you do this at AliExpress. Express. All right, so we could come over to AliExpress.com and we could find a passion product. So let's do that real quick. Where is my AliExpress? All right, so if we're looking for passion products on AliExpress, let's just type in those cat socks, okay? So cat socks. People are very passionate about their cats. They love crazy viral cat memes and stuff like that. And these are actually some of the ones I've sold before. And no, these aren't the exact ones, but they're similar. So I can get these for about 93 cents a pair, and I sell them for $10 for shipping and handling, right? Or I have a cat necklace. I find a very broad niche, a passion product, and then I start to crush it, okay? So that's step number 3. Now, coming back over here to my notepad, here's where it's going to get interesting. Here's where people aren't teaching something. They're leaving something out. Something very important, something that catapults your business to that next level. There's the, I'm making like $2,000, $3,000 a day. I'm feeling good. My business profits $30,000 a month. So I'm making a couple $100,000 a year. That's fantastic. But let me tell you something. There's a big difference between making $150,000 to $200,000 a year versus making $2 to $3 million a year. The lifestyles are significantly different between those two types of income. And I'm about to show you how you bridge that gap, where you go from making a little bit of money to making a lot of money. But it has to do with scaling. It has to do with building a real brand, building a real business. This is what I teach my students how to do. All right, so the next step is step number 4. Okay? Now, step number 4 is you want to come in and you want to run your Facebook campaign. You want to get a profitable Facebook ad. So, profitable Facebook ad. All right? That's the next step, is getting a profitable Facebook ad, one that actually makes money. Okay? Now, when you have a profitable Facebook ad, this is where people, they tend to get stuck. They say, okay, I found the product, it's making money every day. Now, how do I make more money? Well, what they usually say is, for this ad right here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend more to hopefully earn more. And eventually, this product right here will die out. It could be a year, it could be 2 years. Eventually, you know, it'll kind of fizzle, because every product sizzles and fizzles. Now, if you pick the right products, then you'll find stuff that does not fizzle drastically. Like the fidget spinners will fizzle within 2 months, whereas a dog collar, right, may take 2 years to really start to, you know, fizzle. So what you're doing is you're looking for those longer term ads. Now, this is what most people do. They try to spend more to earn more. And that's a great strategy and all, but that's not what I teach my students how to do. Because when you start to spend more, you notice that your profits are going to decrease. So step number 4 is, step number 5 is you're going to want to do something that I call scale sideways. All right, so you want to come in here and you want to scale sideways. I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. I got to make my notepad pretty. It's just a thing with me. You need to scale sideways. So let's just say that your profitable ad right here is some cat socks, okay? You're making money with these cat socks every day, all right? And you want to figure out, what can I do next? Well, a couple of things we've already discovered here. We've already discovered that our ad for cat socks works. This profitable Facebook ad for cat socks is making money. So we've dialed in a niche. We've dialed in a evergreen, long-term, big audience, big money-making niche in the cat niche, okay? So we know that we can market cat stuff successfully as long as we have a really good product. Now, these products usually are free plus shipping to start out. Remember, I said I teach my students how to start out with free plus shipping products because those are the easiest to get started with. So what happens when you want to scale sideways right here, okay? When you want to start scaling sideways, you got to go to step number 5. You're going to love this, okay? This is the evolution of e-commerce. This is how you really get started doing it big. And this is exactly to a T what I did in my business to really, really start generating millions. All right, so step number 6 is you go to print on demand with licensed artwork. All right, you go to print on demand with licensed artwork, and this is how you start to scale sideways. So what do I mean by licensed artwork? Well, you're not going to go and you're not going to get a designer. That's just that you're not going to go do that. You're not going to go hire a designer from 99 Designs or something like that. You're not going to pay a graphic designer from Elance. Let me tell you something. It is mind-numbing to deal with graphic designers, especially if you're not creative and artsy, which I certainly am not. I just want to find a legit image, and I want to start putting it on print-on-demand stuff, and I want to sell it to make lots of money. All right, but I'm not talking about T-shirts, okay? I'm not talking about coffee mugs. I'm not talking about your general Teespring style products that everybody and their mother's selling right now. What I'm talking about is unique products that produce high profit margins. See, what you're doing is you are ascending your business from earning a little bit of money to earning a lot of money. But you start right here, right? You start right here at step 1. You start at step 1 with free plus shipping products, okay? And in all of my trainings for my students, I teach them how to get to this next level where they scale sideways, right? And they move to print on demand. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff here, okay? So we use an app that allows us to create some pretty amazing products. So we're selling like tennis shoes, we're selling boots, we're selling just all sorts of stuff. We're selling tote bags, anything and everything that you could possibly imagine we're selling. We're selling pillows, high heels, backpacks, socks. These are all print-on-demand items, right? Like, check out this purse right here. Because one of the niches that we're in is the tattoo niche. And one of my buddies has destroyed it with this niche. So we started with some AliExpress products, and then we started getting some really cool artwork and putting it on drop-shipped print-on-demand items. So I don't ever see these. I don't ever touch these. I don't pay for them. I don't stock them in my inventory. It's all drop-shipped through a service that my buddy owns on Shopify. And what we do is we go to all of those cat lovers that bought all of those cat socks, and we'll start selling them shoes with cats printed on them. Or we'll start selling them a handbag with cats printed on them. We'll start selling them pillows with cats on them. I've sold a boatload of these pillows right here. Now, these pillows are only $5 out the door. And here's what's really neat. Like, we'll do a set. You see how this set spells love? All right? We make people buy all 4. So people will spend like $40, $45 to buy the entire set of pillows. But let's just say it had 4 different pictures of cats on here. Or one was a blue, one was a pink, one was a yellow, and one was a green, all with the same picture of a cat. See, what we're doing is we are ascending our customers to the next level. We're ascending them from buying little AliExpress items to now buying print-on-demand items. And we're actually going in and we are selling some of these products for up to $80 to $90. So we come in here and we sell some of these shoes right here. Some of them we will sell literally at $75. $75 plus shipping and handling. These shoes, print-on-demand cost, are about $33. All right, so we're earning over $30 to $40 every sale that we make. But where did it all start? Where did all of this come from? How did we achieve this? Well, coming back over here, we have these people that we know love cat socks, right? We've got this profitable ad. So all we did is we took this ad and we scaled it sideways. Remember, right here, we scaled it sideways, and we said we have dialed in the cat niche. We're selling AliExpress items that are crushing it on, in the cat niche. How can we make this bigger and better? And we go in, we get licensed artwork, right? I'll show you some of the licensed artwork we can get access to. Check this out. All right, so licensing.com. Check this out. This is so freaking dope right here. It is so cool. All right, so I'm going to just get the artist thumbs up, okay? So this company, we have an exclusive deal with this company right now. In other words, if you email them, they're gonna point their nose up at you, and they're not going to work with you. It's just the reality. We have an exclusive, legally binding contract with them worldwide to use their artwork, and I actually let some of my VIP students in on this as well. But anyways, we go here. We have over 100,000 images that are done by some famous artists, some up and coming artists, and I could say, oh, I'm in the cat niche, so I don't know. Here's some cat photos right here. So I can go in and I can get access to all of this cat artwork. Some of it looks like it might be in my grandma's house, but I don't care if I don't like it. What matters is other people like this type of stuff, right? And I will literally take these images, and I will use this really cool app that automatically, just like Teespring would, puts these images on pillows. It puts them on all of this stuff right here that's in our Shopify store. High heels, they have bedding, they have all sorts of stuff on the store. And it's absolutely nutso, absolutely crazy. So I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you what the app is on this webinar. I don't want to be intrusive with with Luke's audience, but we're doing print on demand stuff, and we're able to promote all sorts of crazy items on these print on demand things. So that next level after AliExpress is coming up after you've dialed in each of those evergreen niches and doing different products on print on demand that have higher profit margins, and you scale your business to the moon and back. How many of you are with me so far on this? Just say, I'm with you in the chat box if you're with me on this. Okay, I see a lot of people saying I'm with you. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so I go in and I get this artwork, and this is actually a really, well, in my opinion, a really ugly example of the artwork, but people buy it. Trust me, these are licensed, contracted artists. They're only in this group, this art licensing group, because, well, they have art that sells. I'll show you some really cool stuff. Like, let's just say you're in the dog niche, right? So here's some amazing artwork that we can go and we can put on shoes. We can go put it on pillows. We can put it on bedding. You know, like, look at this. This is so cool right here. So what we'll do is I paid $15,000 to get a contract with this company right here to be able to sell their artwork, literally have licensing rights to sell it. Because, see, I'm not just some little, fake guru marketer that just tries to, make $10,000 so I can have some screenshots and show you guys so I could sell you a course. I actually run a multi-seven-figure e-commerce business. So what I do is I actually go out and I make real deals for a long-term brand. How many of you in here understand the gravity of what I'm saying right now? This is the difference between someone who runs a real e-commerce business versus somebody who's just, tooting your horn and blowing smoke, right? I go and I spend a lot of money in my business. Now, something else I did, and maybe if I come on next week I'll talk about it, is I spent $50,000 for my VIP students to get them an exclusive contract with this same company that I use, where they can access the majority of all of this same artwork, and they can start selling it too, which I believe is one of the reasons that my students have had so much success. But I just like to show you, like, this is what I'm doing in my business. We can get all sorts of crazy artwork, skulls, sugar skulls, any niche. It's not just like stuff you might see, in your parents' house or grandparents' house, and it's just it's some really cool stuff. They even have artists in here. Oh, I love this artist right here. They're really cool, especially for the animal niche. So look at this artwork. It's just absolutely crazy. So I'm able to go and print this on pillows and all sorts of stuff. And for those of you asking about, what that company is that I'm using for print on demand, I'll show that. when Luke, if Luke comes back on, I'll mention it. If not, I'll talk about it next week. Maybe. Say that again.
I'm here. If you said I wasn't here, I'm here right now if you need me.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I wasn't even thinking about it when I said the company that does the print-on-demand stuff. Maybe I'll talk about them next week. So,
It's up to you. Whatever you like, man. If you want to share whatever you want to share today, I've decided it's all in your hands. Whatever you want to do.
okay. Fair enough. Sounds good. So I'll mention it at the end of the webinar. I'll talk about what company it is. But look at some of these images that we're able to go in and sell. We've got Batman. We've got Iron Man. We've got Ferrari. Like, this is amazing stuff. See, what I did is I took my business from AliExpress, you know, selling what everybody else out there is selling. I found a niche, an evergreen niche, and then immediately I said, how can I be unique? How can I take this to the next level? How can I invest in my business to build a long-term brand? And I started going out and getting art licensing. And like I said, I do this type of stuff for my students too. I know most of my students cannot afford $15,000 to get a licensing contract with this company. So what I did is I paid them $50,000 to let my referrals in without having to pay in advance. How many of you in here think that's pretty cool? That I paid $50K out of my own pocket just for my students. I'm not trying to sell you anything right now. I'm literally just telling you what I've done for my students. I'm not even, like, I can't let you in this. Like, it's only for some of my VIP students. So just to recap everything that we've done here is we talked about my students versus most people, myself and my students. We start out at step 1, free plus shipping, AliExpress, no inventory, flex stores, zero targeting, other people's passion. And now coming back up here to add in the last piece of the puzzle over here is we scale, oops, I forgot my E. I'm not really good at spelling. We scale sideways with print on demand. All right, so we scale sideways with print on demand. And that is the big difference. And that is what takes us from having one of those stores that's here today, gone tomorrow, that has the sizzle and the fizzle, to having a flexible evergreen store that consistently makes money right here. And it's all done with these steps. Flexible stores, niche fan pages, passion products, profitable Facebook ads, scaling sideways to print on demand. You know, this training, like, I need more time with you. Like, this is just like, I'm just telling you what there's a difference between telling you what to do versus showing you what to do. Does everybody understand that? I mean, I've given you kind of like my business plan, right? But you can't teach this in a day. Like, you can't teach this in one single day. The principles, the strategies to be applicable and applied correctly, you need to be practicing it daily, right? You need to be learning it daily, because there's different pieces of the puzzle with each of these steps that you're going to want to plug in. So you need more time. So you need more training. How many of you in here would agree that you need more training? Type it in the chat box. Say, I need more training. Type in, I need a mentor. Because I know I sure as heck did when I first started out. I needed more training. I needed a mentor. I lost money doing stuff the wrong way. I didn't have a support group. I didn't have a mentor. I kind of had to stick it out. But inevitably, I figured it out because I had a lot of money already. I've been doing internet marketing for 10 years. I already was a millionaire when I started out e-commerce two years ago or so. And I had some money to lose to test around, but I realized a lot of you know, you're not really in that position. You don't really have a lot of money to lose. So when you do invest $1 in your Facebook ads, you need to make sure that you're going to get the most potential probability of success out of that dollar when you invest it. How many of you agree? Say, I agree. Okay, cool. So, yeah. How many of you in here, I know I'm asking you a lot of questions. I like to raise my hand and ask questions and stuff. How many of you in here so far feel like you've gotten a lot of meat and potatoes? Like, you feel like this hour has been well worth your time. You're glad you showed up. You feel like you got some principles, some foundation principles, not to make a quick buck, but to have a long-term, flexible, evergreen business that produces money, something that will always, always set you up for long-term success, so you can quit your job, so you can go full-time, so you can be a real business owner and not some fly-by guy or girl that's here today and gone tomorrow. These are real business principles. Maybe it's not as fun and exciting as the fluff that some of these other guys are doing out there with their little PDFs and, you know, showing you the same crap that's already on the front page of AliExpress.com, but this is how you make money. And you can have a lot of damn fun when you make money. But first you've got to figure out how to make it, then you can go have fun, right? And then you can go relax. These right here are the foundational principle, the foundation principles and steps that I use to build up my $5+ million e-commerce store. So I see a lot of you in here are excited. You like what you've learned so far. Luke, I'm going to let you just kind of add some stuff into this if you have anything to say. This is really what I wanted to get across to your audience, and this is I feel like what I don't want is I don't want when I get off of a webinar to have people confused, because oftentimes people get what's called information overload. And if I teach you too much right now, here's what's going to happen. I'll go in and I'll teach you step 1. This is step 1. Then I'll go in and I'll teach you step 2, right? And then I'll go in and I'll teach you step 3, okay? Then I'll go in and I'll teach you step 4. And by the end of it, this is what your brain will feel like. This right here will be your brain, all right? So you do not want your brain to look and feel like this after information overload. Is everybody with me? Just say yes. There's a certain way that you have to learn.
That's artwork right there, Adrian. Honestly, I've seen you use the Apple Pencil, and I've seen your brother use it, and honestly, I must say, that drawing there just sums up actually all of that. Let's all give Adrian a giant round of applause. You can do it behind your computer screens over there, because that is just amazing artwork, what we have right there. And you know what?
Picasso, modern day Picasso, what can I say?
You don't see that every day on a webinar, that's for sure. So that is amazing in itself there. So what I want to say again here is who really enjoyed Adrian's training today. Again, it's not easy to get Adrian to come onto a webinar, do a pure value training here for you guys. So I hope you all really appreciate it today. A big part of today as well that I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that was just pure value. There wasn't anything being sold here, but I know in saying that, a lot of you are enjoying Adrian's training so far, and you might want to know more information about what courses he has, if you want to work with him further and whatnot. I'm going to get him to come back in the following weeks and talk about more training, the courses he has and whatnot. But if anyone's interested right now, just chuck your email in the box and I'll send you an email after this to show you a bit more about what Adrian's got going on. But in saying that, I appreciate that a lot, Adrian, today, because I know you're a very busy man. You're having a bit of a holiday over there in your new condos over there. He's just got all this amazing artwork put all throughout his condos over there. So absolutely amazing. I see there's a lot of emails coming flying in now. So Adrian, I don't know if you wanted to share anything now about ESA or anything that you've got going on, but if not, we can do it next week. But I can email these people, follow up here. But I just saw everyone being so excited. I thought I may as well just chuck it in anyway and see. Yeah,
I'll chat a little bit about it. First off, you mentioned the artwork. We just had a new condo we're about to move into this week. We had an artist come in, and I'm so embedded, so in with Shopify and Facebook. I actually had the artist, you'll see it right here, draw a Shopify bag. That is permanent on the column in my condo. So I got the Shopify bag, and then I did create a course called Ecom Success Academy, and there's the logo right there. That course in the past year and a half has created over $20 million worth of earnings reports from our students. So for those of you that are asking about more training from me and what do I have out there, I'll say this, I've got one thing, and it's called Ecom Success Academy. When you have something that just works, you don't have to have a zillion different programs and stuff like that. So I have Ecom Success Academy. It's closed. I do private openings for it. I just did a private opening for Bob Proctor. I do private openings here and there for Ty Lopez. But generally, it's closed. And when a partner asks me to open it up, I'll do like a 5-day opening, and I'll take in some new students. But it's a training that I've used for my students that has built up a massive amount of success stories. We literally have more testimonials than I can count, and it's because I'm not just getting on one webinar with people and showing them these foundational steps. What I'm doing is I'm coming in every single week and I'm doing webinars and I'm teaching them. They're going through all of my step-by-step videos, and they're setting their store up the right way. They're learning how to do their Facebook ads the right way. Something I didn't even talk about today is email marketing. Their Shopify email leads. They're email marketing the right way. And I teach people how to build a real big business. I don't nickel and dime people. I don't have upsells and all that stuff. I just said, if I'm going to create a course, I'm just going to dump everything I know, everything inside of my brain into one member's area, and I'm just going to give it to everybody and see what they do with it. And the result, well, actually, check this out. You can see the comments on this last Instagram post that I made. You can just see all of my students on here. Great training. Your training's amazing. Some of them are just talking about the art. There's like 500 comments on here from our students, and these are typically my VIP Ecom Success Academy students, but they follow me on all my social media. They talk about, the stellar mentor, tutor, instructor, so forth. I really do give my all to my students, and I don't hold anything back. So, yeah, that's I guess that would kind of sum up what I do.
Yeah, exactly. So that's perfect. So what we're going to do then, let's leave it at that today then, because obviously, like Adrian said, we don't want to give you guys information overload or anything like that today. But I know you all did learn something, so can we once again in the comment box give a big thank you, Adrian, and because I know we all appreciate him coming out today. And again, I appreciate all of you coming out today on today's webinar, because again, I know your time is extremely valuable. Today we've just gone over an hour, which is very rare. Normally I end up going 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and before you know it, it's the social profit hour has now become social profit 2.5 hours, which it's great that it hasn't happened today. But who is going to be here next week? Because I'm going to get Adrian to come back next week for more training. I'm going to send this replay out for you all, and I'm going to ensure that you all go through this replay one more time in the Facebook group. I might even invite Adrian into the Facebook group so he can come in and talk to everyone live in there as well if he wants to do any Facebook Lives, take it over for the week, whatever, because again, we're just going to scale this up next week and get into more detail, into more actual result-based training as well. Again, just continue on what we've done today. If that sounds good to you guys, because I know it does sound good to me, put yes in the box. I'm excited for this. Adrian, I appreciate you coming out to here today, and we'll wrap this up now if you want to, and then we'll get on a call after this, and then we'll get ready for next week. And I hope everyone's going to be here next week.
For sure. I'll tell you what, next week I will tell everybody what the exact print-on-demand company that I'm using is. I'll kind of I'll actually kind of throw something special together next week for everybody that shows up that I'll give away at the end of the webinar for the print-on-demand company that I use. I don't own them. They don't have like an affiliate program or anything. It's just the company that I use that not that many people know about. So if I come on next week, I'll give that away at the end of the webinar. I'll go over that. So that'll give you some time to process what I talked about today. And then next week you'll learn some more. And you can go do what you want to do. And I did want to point out one comment from one of your great members, Luke. I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, there it is. So we've got, let's see, who is it? What did he say? Derek, it looks, I won't call out his last name, but Derek here says, get rich quick scheme. All right, let me show you what that looks like. It sure as heck does not look like this right here. This is called getting wealthy with a real business over time. How many of you in here would agree with that? Say yes if you agree. Just to make clear, you're not going to get rich in a day with this, but what I can teach you how to do is over a period of time, I could teach you how to be smart, and I could teach you how to be very successful if you follow the strategy. I'll show you how to build a real big business. Say fair enough if that sounds fair enough to you. Sorry, Luke, I just don't like stupid people. So.
Oh, I like that. And that's what, guys. I've seen Adrian on other webinars, and there's always going to be people that are going to be doubting everything they hear, which is fair enough. It's okay to be skeptical about things, but the one thing I love about Adrian is when he can show you A, B, C, D equals E, he can show you the formula behind the result, and then someone still doesn't understand. Adrian's not afraid to call them out, not even understand. They just don't think it works, and even though they can see it works there, Adrian will be the first person to call them out, and hopefully for that Derek there, that's going to snap you out of that mindset, because he's not saying this in an insulting way. He wants you to really realize that it's not an overnight success. He's not saying that, but in saying that, you can make a lot of money from doing these things the right way. And Adrian's the guy that teaches people to do this all the time. Like he said, $20 million in earnings reports from ESA that he has over there. He will be back next week. I know Adrian keeps on saying, oh, I might be. He's at 100%. I'm going to lock him in and force him in same time next week. So let's do that then. If there's anything else you want to say, Adrian, go for it now. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up and I'll speak to everyone next week.
No, absolutely. I'm good now. I'm actually got to go with my family to dinner since we're all on vacation and everything. Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, I just want to leave you with this. You are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. When I was in school, when I was younger, I made straight Fs. That's what that post on Instagram kind of talked about. I hung out with people that doubted me. I hung out with people that thought I was dumb and that said I would never make it. And they all just kind of put each other down. And I made a shift where I started surrounding myself with people that had goals, people that were positive, people that I wanted to be like, people that were better than me, people that wanted to lift themselves up and lift the people up around them, and all achieve great success. And when I started doing that is when my life turned around, and I went from making $5.15 an hour at a car wash to, you know, making up to $40,000 in a day on my Shopify store. So until next week, take a good look at the people you surround yourself with. Right now, y'all are in such a great community with Luke. I mean, this dude, he gives his all to his community. He's so brilliant. The stuff that he puts out is amazing. I use everything that Luke puts out. I always hit him up. I'm like, yo, dude, can I get a buy link to your new program or your new software, because it's so cool. So in following Luke, I think you're surrounding yourself with a person that is going to give and give and give and lift you up and push you when you don't think you can make it. And that's exactly what you need to be successful, is a mentor that's going to do something like that. So I did just want to throw that out there, Luke, because I have a lot of respect for what you do. So that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn my webcam off. Thank you all so much. # crush it. I guess I will be seeing you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you all next week. And thank you, everyone, again, for joining in today. I appreciate it very, very much. I've got to head off today as well. I've got a birthday. I've got to sort out and everything, and a bit more moving into my new place as well. But I'll be in the Facebook group. If you have any questions, hit me up on Facebook as well. We'll see you all next week at 6 p.m. Eastern, everyone. That's where it's going to be. Thank you again, Adrian, for being here, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Thanks, guys.
Night, y'all.